You are now tuned into the Pod Awful channel. PodAwful.net.
My ex, who was addicted to video games, I got really frustrated once because I was really horny, and I called him up. I didn't hear back from him. And then I talked to him the next day, and I'm like all pissy, because I'm like, you know what, I was really horny, and I want to be able to call you up and we can have sex. I just don't feel like you're very attracted to me when I do that. And his response, which kind of chilled me to the bone, he was like, no, I'm totally attracted to you. In fact, I pulled up a picture of you and masturbated to it.
Well, that makes it all better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it also makes it very video gamey. Yeah. I was there. I was available.
Yeah, the actual woman.
Yes, the person he was going to masturbate to.
Yeah.
But the virtual depiction was what he worked with.
I gotta say, this is now the only thing I have in common with your ex.
Hi, I'm Monica Hamburg, and this is Dazed and Convicted. This is a podcast about criminal fucktards in the news. My co-host Bill Ullman and I read 2 news articles that have criminal fucktards. We have sketches that we base on these special people and their crimes. And I call a hilarious comedian and I get their take on who the fucktard of the week is. At the end, there is some other internet strangeness. And that is pretty much the show. Hope you enjoy.
Competitor 1.
Sing for your life.
Atlanta. An unlicensed acupuncturist, the best kind.
Yeah.
Unlicensed gynecologist.
That'd be me.
You're good at it, though.
Yeah, I practice.
An unlicensed acupuncturist is facing charges after reportedly infecting 16 people with HIV through his illegal practice. The suspect, 53-year-old Maurice Goller of Switzerland, was also a music teacher. Sure, I'm a music teacher, but I also dabble in acupuncture.
And I'm Swiss.
I have a real passion for stabbing people with infected needles. I think it has something to do with teaching kids music.
I'm surprised he doesn't stab them with bayonets.
On the site, it actually has, for more trusted health news and information, visit CBS Atlanta. So, don't let your music teacher prick your face with needles? Is that the kind of advice you'd go for?
In Atlanta, yes. I think that's probably the best medical advice you can give.
Because they're taking it out of their well, yeah. The needles.
Exactly. Their well of AIDS-infected blood. Because that's what they write, letters with in Atlanta.
That's really, instead of quill and ink, it's AIDS-infected needles and a well of blood.
Everybody knows that.
I love the idea of the music teacher moonlighting as an acupuncturist. Letting someone stick needles in your face. When it's not their profession.
It's out of the question for me. I don't care how qualified they are.
Yeah, I actually have gone for acupuncture sessions.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No.
But they've been people that do that full time. Because I'm kind of picky with people shoving needles into me.
Funny how you're picky about the needles, but not. Anyways, let's carry on.
He was recently seen before a 5-judge panel of judges. Oh, okay.
Well, that would be good.
Yeah, it's good.
I'd hate for him to be in front of a 5-judge panel of fucking acupuncturists.
Yeah, I was thinking a 5-judge panel of orangutans. All right, so he was recently seen before, apparently, a 5-judge panel of judges in the Bern-Midland Regional Court in relation to the incidents that are said to have infected the victims, all of which occurred between 2001 and 2005.
A prosecutor working on the case allegedly learned that Goller solicited most of his victims from his pool of music students.
You, the one who always sings flat, come over at 8.
I have a needle that will work your pitch up.
The operation began to crumble in 2005 when a former patient of his named Thomas Kaiser, this poor bastard, he gets AIDS from his music teacher's infected needles, and then his name is also in the paper.
Yeah, he's not getting a lot of dates, guessing.
No, and also it seems like he's almost admitting he's a virgin, so it doesn't really help things, because he told doctors that only Goller's acupuncture could have infected him when he learned of his HIV-positive status. I don't do drugs, I don't have unprotected sex. The only thing I can think of is when my music teacher used those needles he and his friends sanitized by ejaculating on.
Oh.
I just like to think of him taking a needle from a medical waste bin. Medical waste, it's just a waste. Just grabbing them.
It's because in Switzerland they throw their discarded sharps into a blue box instead of a yellow one like here.
Oh, so they just think it's recycling.
That's
sometimes?
Right, yeah.
They're like, I could use this again.
Exactly. That's a perfectly good needle. Why did someone throw it away?
It's like on condoms. It actually says, do not use again.
It says that?
It says that.
Oh, fuck.
Because I guess when people...
Whoops. Well, now that I know it's in print, I have no excuse.
Guess your girlfriend's getting an abortion!
Can we pause for a moment? I need to make a phone call.
Yeah, really. I'm serious. The fact that it has to be written down, that you can't just rinse it off, squeeze it out and maybe lay it out with your underwear outside on the line.
Which is what I've been doing.
How's that working out for you?
Well, better than you'd think.
The investigation following Kaiser's allegations led authorities to 15 other HIV-infected patients, all music students of his, who also accused the educator of malpractice.
Goller, however, has maintained his innocence, according to UPI.
How?
I don't know. He's like, I'm innocent.
No, but how do you explain that since meeting you, most of the people you teach were infected with AIDS? The best thing you would go for is the acupuncture needles.
Well, maybe they were all fucking each other.
Okay.
Maybe there was this massive music school daisy chain going on in my house.
My music is so inspiring. People just bang.
A Swiss court convicted the man of deliberately infecting 16 people with HIV and sentenced him to 12 years and 9 months in jail. The trial against the 54-year-old was concluded only after police ended a 24-hour siege in which the man had barricaded himself inside, armed with a knife and issuing repeated threats.
I know just the music they'll be performing in his class. Everybody's got AIDS, 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 AIDS.
Much better, Tommy. You've been practicing.
I have, Mr. Goller. Would you like to hear another one?
Oh, no, that's all right. Maybe you should take up the hop.
I thought I was here to learn piano.
You'll need to know the hop where you're going.
What?
Nothing. It's good fun at parties.
Oh, well, okay. Mr. Goller, there's blood on these harp strings.
Well, just lick it off, Tommy. Now, Susie, have you been doing your singing warm-ups like I told you?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, V.
Very good, Susie. Now, let me spit in your mouth.
How does that...
Are you serious about music, Susie?
I sure am.
Well, then I expect commitment. Say, do you kids want some milkshake?
Yeah!
This tastes like my gym teacher.
Sweetie, have you ever tried intravenous drugs?
What? No, I would never.
Oh, okay. I thought you were more serious than that.
I am. I really want this. Fame. I want to live forever.
Well, you're certainly not going to live forever.
Can we take a break and watch some TV before we continue?
Oh, why the fuck not? Just push the power button with the razor on it. Hi, I'm Chris Kirkpatrick from InSync. Life as an international music star can be fun.
How would you know?
Oh, fuck off, Justin. But a career in the arts can be risky. HIV/AIDS used to be a way to die a horrible death, and everyone would remember you as that dude who died of AIDS. But it's no longer that cool. So if a music teacher tries to give you AIDS to help your career, this pop star just says, no way, dude.
Wait, sir, were you trying to give us AIDS to make us more famous?
I knew how much this meant to you both. Are you sore?
Oh, gosh, no. I mean, I was from the unprotected sodomy last week, but I'm not mad, sir. That was so thoughtful.
Yeah.
Music is infectious, so go ahead and wreck us. We really want to make it, so dish it, we can take it. I'm gonna be a star.
Then you better learn to sing or die trying.
We're killing the music and we're killing ourselves. So cut us with blades and give us some AIDS, if that's the price of fame.
Competitor 2.
Preventive euthanasia.
An Arizona man charged with stabbing his wife and son to death admitted to committing the crime over fear he had infected his wife with HIV and his belief that their son was handicapped. Eugene Maravanteno told police he had been with prostitutes and feared he had contracted HIV or other diseases and passed them on to his wife, Janet.
Feared. You'd think he'd wait for confirmation before doing something, like killing.
There's also, or other diseases. Well, yeah, she might have crabs, so...
Oh, she was healthy. Oh, my bad. My in-laws are gonna be so miffed. The 64-year-old man also told detectives his wife was ill, and he was afraid she'd test positive for cancer or HIV, so he decided to terminate her life.
Great. The logic is really, it's winning logic.
Isn't it?
Oh, totally.
I'm not sure.
He's looking at her going, I don't want her to die this long, horrible death, so I'm going to stick a knife through her ribs.
Over and over again, because it probably took her a while to die.
Presumably. I don't know if he knew what he was doing in the knifing department.
I doubt he did, because somewhere in this article it talks about how he tried to kill himself. I don't think we included it. And he tried 3 or 4 different times to off himself in the most stupid, childish ways possible, and none of them worked.
So you're developing a bit of an opinion that he's a loser.
I'm really going to reserve judgment. That's not my job here.
That's right. That's what you hire comedians to do on this show.
That's right. Hire. That's the word we're going to use. Court documents indicate Maraventano attacked his wife with a kitchen knife as she was sleeping. He confessed to having considered buying a gun to kill her, but decided not to because he's not a violent person.
Beautiful.
I figured I'd just do something non-violent, like stabbing.
Yeah, I'll just tear open all the ligaments and bones and arteries and veins and internal organs with a fucking knife.
That's what decent people do.
That's right. It's not violent. Knife attack's not violent.
No.
Gun attack's horribly violent.
That's how they kill people in hospitals, right?
With knives?
Well, yeah, they're like, this person is brain dead, and then they just fucking stab them over and over again.
I want that job.
Practicing non-violence, like that whole thing.
The whole Gandhi thing?
The whole Gandhi thing, yeah. I gotta see like a little bit of yoga, a little stab yoga. A downward stab, an upward stab, a warrior stab.
I have visions of this little bald guy in a diaper running at you with a knife. Well, not you, but running at people with a knife. We got the British out of India this way. Yeah, well, I'd leave.
It wouldn't have taken him that long either.
No, I mean, it would have saved him a whole lot of hunger pangs. After stabbing his wife, the suspect allegedly tried to commit suicide. Good enough to kill her, not good enough to kill himself.
Yeah, I wonder how that works with people.
I have competence questions. Instead, he decided to kill his 27-year-old son, Brian. Maravento told detectives he thought his son was handicapped because he spent too much time playing video games and had no job, friends, or a girlfriend. So he went into his son's room and stabbed him twice.
It is hard to argue with this logic, though.
It's kind of the old Yeller moment. Come here, boy. You got no job, no friends, no girlfriend. Let's go out behind the barn for a little walk. Bang! Shovel, shovel, shovel.
The last part of this is, according to the medical examiner, Janet and Brian had been dead for a few days when Maravento called 911. He is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder. In fairness, though, aside from the blood, it would be difficult to tell that kid was dead.
True enough. Welcome back to the Games of Hope Telethon. We're dedicated to finding a cure for MRBOVG, mental retardation brought on by video gaming. This show is about supporting a group of really special kids instead of murdering them. In case you just tuned in, I'm Chris Kirkpatrick, and joining me now is Celine Dion.
Hello, Chris. Who are you again?
I was in Sync.
You were the old one.
Yes. Now, you and our viewers might not know this, but I feel close to this charity because my parents once thought I was mentally handicapped.
Because you played video games.
No. I'd like to introduce all of you to Ryan.
Hi. I said hi!
Ryan is a special little guy with a problem. Before being diagnosed with MRBOVG, Ryan would probably have been savagely murdered by a frustrated parent. Let's watch a touching video of Ryan's life.
My name is Ryan R. As in, are you listening? Y, as in, why aren't you listening? A, as in ADD, and N, as in, no girlfriend. When I was 6, my dad sat me down in front of the television set with a game console and left me there. My mom brought me food, and now 27 years later, I'm still there. The games are better, but I missed out on many things that other people do, like listening.
Ryan's childhood onset MRBOVG robbed him of the most precious years of his life. Don't you feel sorry for Ryan? Don't you feel bad? Don't you feel like killing him? Don't! Just pick up the phone and donate some money.
You wanted me to sing a song?
Yes. I'm sure everyone would be delighted to hear that.
And after, someone will kill that poor boy and put him out of his misery?
No.
How sad. Okay, I sing tonight for all the poor children like Richard.
Ryan.
Robert.
Ryan.
Nobody cares. Chris, you play music?
No.
Okay. Staring at display screen, Halo and World of typing commands furiously, feeling so productive when I log on. Hours pass and I sit on my ass, but I must play whenever I log on. Bites, bits, my social life is the shits. I wake and bake and then I log on. Dad, knife, he says I wasted my life, but if you donate, I can still log on and on and on.
Celine Dion, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking time from your Vegas shows to do our little telethon.
I can have my son back now, yes?
Yes, we've locked him in the control room with an Xbox.
An Xbox? Merde! Bonjour, I am, how you say, too late? My precious baby boy, what do you want to be when you grow up, sweetie? No!
And that is why you must all pick up the phone and call in to donate. Donate for the cure. Donate so that no child will ever again have to bear the stigma of video game retard. Or be murdered just for being a moron.
It's time for me to call Joe Zimmerman and get his take on the fucktards.
Oh, hey, it's Joe Zimmerman.
Oh, hi, Joe Zimmerman. I'm glad I got the person I was calling. So I sent you 2 wonderful articles the same week that I found these. I also found this one with this guy. This guy gives his girlfriend HIV. And she keeps asking him, because he's in a traveling circus, and he keeps going to Africa. And she keeps saying, hey, you know, I know that AIDS is rampant in Africa, so do you have AIDS? Do you have HIV? I guess, you know, are you, like, she was pretty cautious. She kept asking him, and he kept saying, no, I don't, even though he knew he did. And then, because he said he didn't want to ruin her life. Uh-huh. And then he tells police, this is the quote, he thought it would go away, and he kept testing himself to see if it would go away. Like HIV is something you could just walk off.
It's a tough boyfriend to have. The guy that works for a circus that travels Africa.
I know!
Like, you sure you want to date him? It doesn't seem like the most steady lifestyle.
I love him, and I hope he's not giving me AIDS. We'll start with the first one, the music teacher, healer.
He sounds like a cool person. I thought 16 was a little much. I definitely was swayed away from ever considering acupuncture. Just you're like, maybe I'll try it. But then if you're like, but you know you can get HIV, you're like, yeah, I'll probably just pass. Since there's no medical evidence to back up that it works and only medical evidence to back up that it can give you HIV.
I also think one of the caveats should be, don't let your music teacher also prick your face with needles.
Yeah, it's a weird segue to be like, hey, you really nailed that oboe, but you're looking a little tense. Wondered if maybe you want to loosen up a little with some acupuncture to get some more airflow. He was found guilty because they all had been similarly injected to their surprise, it was written.
Yeah, I think I read the same thing, that he was injecting them as opposed to, because it's only supposed to break, like, the first layer of skin, that he was, like, going all the way in. Like, just hold on while I slap your arm and find a good vein.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's my first time getting acupuncture and somebody just goes deep, I'm just like, I guess that's how you do it. I don't know.
Maybe that's how he called them. He was like, have you ever had acupuncture before? And if they said yes, he's like, oh, they're going to figure this out. So it's just people who had never done it before.
And I've had people try to convince me that acupuncture is the greatest thing in the world, and now I'm suspicious that those people wanted me to have AIDS.
I like that he's maintained his innocence. How did he do that?
Maybe somebody was just playing a trick on him.
Maybe someone was dipping all the needles into, like, an AIDS pot. His assistant.
He has an evil assistant.
Maybe he is innocent.
I just have that overwhelming fear of falsely accused for jail because I've had lots of people tell me that I have a doppelganger. Like, oh, I just saw someone look exactly like you at Whole Foods. And I'm like, well, I hope that person doesn't rob any banks.
I think the people who go to Whole Foods are generally frail enough that they won't be robbing any banks or doing
That's
any...
true. I don't need to worry about the Whole Foods doppelgangers.
There's a possibility he might have been a healer. I mean, the people don't have back pain anymore, just AIDS.
Maybe it's some weird holistic theory that HIV cures a lot of other things.
You're less focused on any sort of one pain, given that you got everything.
Yeah, once you get HIV, you can start living your life to the fullest. That was his theory.
You are free from life, so just enjoy it.
The dude that created the Heimlich maneuver, less known for injecting people with malaria on purpose, because he thought that would fight HIV. I would like to have a conversation with that guy and be like, what was the motive here?
Was it just that he hated all his music students?
Yeah, maybe those were the 16 students he hated.
Those were the worst. They wouldn't go on to operatic careers or anything.
Maybe he's the hero of a ton of teachers who deal with horrible students.
That person just can't hit the note in The Music Man, so that's it.
The ultimate passive-aggressive move when you're consistently tardy for class. All right, HIV for this one.
Or it's the people that ask him to transcribe music into another key. It's like, I can't fucking do that. Sing it in A or you get AIDS.
But he's non-confrontational about it, so he's like, yeah, I'll do that. By the way, I'd love to help you with some acupuncture that I'll give you for free.
Your voice needs a little bit of a raspier sound, maybe kind of a death rattle.
I think he had to be guilty because essentially they're saying that HIV wouldn't be able to last for a long time on a dirty needle to infect that many people. So he was having to somehow make it fresh HIV blood for the different people.
Hey, Bob, come in from the alley for a moment. I need some more of your AIDS.
Yeah, who is he getting it from? What? Hey, man, why do you keep taking my blood, man? You know I have HIV. Oh, no reason.
Maybe that's what he does. Maybe he goes to the blood banks, and whenever someone comes in that they disqualify because they might have AIDS. Sorry, you sleep around without condoms? Okay, I'm sorry, we can't use your blood. He then finds them, and he's like, hey, they're overly conservative. I've got my own operation. We'll be happy to take your blood.
It's a curious case.
We'll move on to the second article.
I'm excited about the second article.
This lovely man, he kills his wife over fearing he'd given her HIV.
I couldn't tell if his defense was, I killed her because she had HIV, so like he thought he was going to get off for relieving her of the HIV he thought he'd given her that he hadn't. Like I couldn't tell if it was a false defense or a real defense. Like people come up with a defense of like, self-defense, and he was like, I thought I gave her HIV, so I killed her, so I guess I should be free to go.
It was as public service.
The best part was he then killed his 27-year-old son, and his defense for that was that he thought his son was mentally handicapped because his son played video games and didn't have a girlfriend. So apparently I've been retarded a lot in my life.
I knew that there was something wrong with me. I just couldn't figure out what. But now I'm retarded, so good, right? I guess.
Yeah. If somebody's playing video games and, doesn't have a girlfriend, it's like, you got to relieve them of their life. This guy clearly was not making logical sense in any of the statements he made because he even went on to say that he used a knife because he's not a violent person.
Yes, I love, because all the peace-loving hippies, they just walk around stabbing people instead. It reminds me of this guy who killed 8 of his children and his wife, and then he was going to kill himself, but then he was like, no, I'm not going to kill myself because then I won't go to heaven.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a violent person, so I'm not going to use a gun. That would be horrible. I'm just going to get up right close to somebody and feel the life zapping out of them as I repeatedly stab them, because that's chill.
And he said he killed them, but he couldn't kill himself, and apparently he did make the attempt.
Yes.
He put a bag over his face. He put the knife into the wall and then tried to run into it. And then after just failing, he was like, I guess I'll just call 911 now.
Cutting his wrist, and he doesn't obviously make a big commitment to that, suffocating himself with a plastic bag by taping it to his face, and then placing a knife handle against the wall and pushing himself into it. Like, did he try anything else? Did he run with scissors, trying to drown himself in the toilet?
It's almost like another bad defense that he thought was going to help him out. Like, hey man, I tried to kill myself too, but it didn't work out. So I guess I should be free to go, right?
This guy seems to be pretty anti-testing of anything. He's not waiting for his wife to get the results of the cancer test, because she got tested for cancer. And I guess he thought with the cancer test, they were also going to determine that he had HIV. I don't know. And so he's like, well, I'm not going to wait for that because test results take too long. And then the kid, he's like, obviously retarded. Haven't gotten any tests on that too. Those are expensive.
The Kevorkian defense, like maybe his wife just kept complaining about how she might have cancer. I gotta help her out. She's not happy. She's so unhappy. I gotta fix this.
And then, she'll find out that I might have given her AIDS by sleeping with prostitutes. I don't have any symptoms, neither does she. You know what? I'm not gonna take any chances. I'll just kill her.
I wish that we could do reality shows, but prisons and follow like the most interesting prisoners around.
He would have like no reason to kill people. He'd still kill them. I thought that guy was eventually going to kill me. He said hi to me in the cafeteria.
Yeah, you don't want to be cellmates with that guy. He tried to kill me again because he thought he gave me the flu. So I'm just trying really hard to act healthy around him.
But then I sneezed, and that was when he shanked me.
Who is the fucktard of the week?
I think the musical acupuncture dude is more evil, but I think clearly he had a kind of a genius plot. So I think the fucktard of the week has to go to the dad that thought his son was retarded because he didn't have a girlfriend, and that he had to kill his son because he was retarded.
So the other day I checked Facebook's other messages, the messages I got from people that don't have any obvious connection to me that Facebook segregates into this little spammy folder. And I found gold. I found this wonderful message. My name is Samuel Chelling. I was browsing through the internet on www.facebook.com. Oh, that's where that's located. I was like, what is it? Facebook. Where the fuck would you find that? But also keep in mind that he did send this message through Facebook. So chances are, at this point, I know what Facebook is, given that I'm using it to read your message. I was browsing through the internet on www.facebook.com when I saw your pics, and I was really attracted to your charming and captivating beauty, coupled with the works of creature in you. This is the only way that it seemed like it actually was directed towards me. I wish to communicate further with you as I am planning to relocate to, and this is where you know it was copy and pasted in, because everything else is in normal lower and uppercase letters. But here, the name of my city and province is all caps. So I'll read it that way. I wish to communicate further with you as I am planning to relocate to Vancouver, British Columbia, to settle down for an investment. I would love to have a good start of a relationship with you, as would like you to be my companion. Hope you will be good and faithful to me, ? He already has doubts. Here is my email ID. Love symbol 28 at yahoo.com. And my cell phone number is, and then he has like a whole bunch of numbers. Please endeavor to send me your email ID and your CP number for easier communication. Okay, so far so bad, but it gets better. I do not know you well, but what I see on your profile enchants me, like a song sung far away. I cannot hear the words, but what they say hangs softly on the hills where I must go. I see you furtively, and note your eyes, hazel and dreamy, your spirit half elsewhere. I note the sheen of your dark, lustrous hair, and I wish I knew your thoughts and shared your cries. 'Cause that's not creepy. This love brings me sweet pain, but I want more. Driven by a dream I can't control, I want the truth of you, untamed and whole. In frantic hope, I haunt your open door. Hope to hear from you soon. Regards, Samuel. Thanks so much for listening to episode 97 of Dazed and Convicted. Our wonderful guest judge this week was Joe Zimmerman, and here's a little bit more about him.
Well, I'm Joe Zimmerman. I am a stand-up comedian based out of New York City. I moved to New York from Asheville, North Carolina, and I'm full-time on the road doing the comedy. I am in a tour called the Beards of Comedy, who have an album out on Comedy Central Records called Cardio Mix. You can find on iTunes. I have a Twitter, at Joe Zimmerman. And I'm on the Facebook. I'd love it if anybody wants to be my friend, facebook.com/Zimmerman Comedy. And then I have a blog at ZimmermanComedy.com where I try to keep up with the Joneses.
Now, by asking people to be your Facebook friend, do you hope that your parents won't come and stab you to death?
Yeah, I just, every week I send an updated Facebook friend count to my family so that they don't murder me because I'm retarded.
You can find all our episodes and show notes at dazedandconvicted.com. Dazed and Convicted is part of the Pod Awful channel at podawful.net. Let me know who you think is the bigger fucktard and why on any of the social networks, or comment on our site, dazedandconvicted.com. You can find me on Twitter at dazedconvicted. Facebook is facebook.com/dazedandconvicted, or you can email me, Monica, at dazedandconvicted.com. The show also randomly replays on the CWE network. Some other cool podcasts are also there. Please check it out. CWEradio.com/shows. And if you'd like bonus content, go to podawful.net/dazedandconvicted. Thanks again. We so appreciate your support. And if you enjoyed the show, please subscribe. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, and just about everywhere else. Thanks so very much for listening.